Hello and welcome everybody to the first round of our new Anti-Star Racing Sports Car Series. Today I am here with Mark Fletcher, a new commentator on the booth. Hello.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Fine. We're really excited for this. It's a lot of people. It's two classes, so it's LMP3s and GT4s. It's something new that we've never done before. And the qualifying should start soon as well, as they already are everyone grading up and going to start it. So, what are you looking forward to this? Since it's your first time here at Anti-Stall Racing.
Yeah, it should be really good. Interesting when there's obviously multi classes going on. We've got GT4s and LMP3s, so yeah, a massive speed difference. But yeah, it's going to be keep your eyes on qualifying, see how the GT4s go. These guys have got 12 minutes, and then the LMP3s will go out, and yeah, same for them. So yeah, we'll sit back and watch these GT4s head round.
So yeah, at first we have the GT4s doing the qualifying for 12 minutes. Afterwards, one of the race controllers was talking. So yeah, it's 12 minutes for the GT4s. Afterwards, it's the LMP3 time to qualify. Separate qualifying, but it's still open for everyone.
Yeah, it should be interesting open qualifying. There's a lot of corners here. 19 in total, if we're being very specific. So yeah, we're on board with Alex May, who is starting his outlap. Alex fairly quick in practice. It'd be interesting to see where he is, just trying to get a little bit of space in front of him. Sven Demal, he was our top qualifier, well, our top in practice, so we know that BMW's got pace around here. So again, let's see how their first laps go. And yeah, let's get some time on the board. Off tracks are massive around here, especially through the chicanes. Very easy to get an off track. So yeah, I expect most of these guys are going to get a banker in and yeah, hopefully go again for a second lap.
So some of you that are regular viewers have noticed that a lot of the names from the touring car series are actually even here. We have the three-time champion Brandon Hawkin on the LMP3, who's going to do a lap afterwards. We have Harry Imola, a really big contender for the series as well. We have Yoni Niemi, who's also starting his qualifying. A lot of people on a different series that they used to, from front-wheel driving cars to rear-wheel driving cars. It's not easy. You might have experienced it. You've done a lot of Clear Cup, right?
Yeah, done yeah, Clear Cup in other championships, and I'm now currently racing in a GT4 championship, and these things are fantastic. They're obviously not as quick as GT3s, but yeah, take a bit of finesse to drive. You have to carry corner speed in these things compared to what you're going to see in the LMP3s. Those things are absolutely rapid between the corners. And yeah, guys, if you're watching and you're wondering what these colours are at the bottom of the screen, pink means that they are going fastest overall in that sector. Green is that they're going to beat their personal bests, and orange and yellow means that they're not on to improve their time. So as we're watching Yoni Numi heading in to Minerale, he is going to be one of the first to cross the line here for the first round of the ASR series. So as you watch him into the Variante Alta, takes the curve on the left, takes the curve and heads out down towards Ravazza, but the double left-hander turns 17 and 18 and then back down the straight. And we'll yeah, see how he is going. Obviously 2 purple sectors and a green, so this should be a decent opening lap here.
Very tidy.
So as you cross the line then, what's Johnny going to do? A 1:51.4 puts him on provisional pole as well. As you said earlier, Harry is coming, so still stays pole, does Johnny. 0.6 of a second is the gap so far. Daniel Robinson for NDR LR Motorsport. He is just about to finish a lap. This one also looks good from Daniel. Obviously the BMW multi-class and multi-car here. The LMPs, they're all the same car. There are different cars in the GT4s. We've got the Porsche, we've got the McLaren, we've got the Mercedes, and we've got the Aston Martin and the BMW. So these drivers can pick any cars they want. But as we can see, we're watching Daniel come across the line. And if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner, Sven, fastest in practice, going fastest in qualifying here. 2 purple sectors, and to the top of the time he goes in that BMW, a 151.289. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, let's see how he gets on onto this second lap. Bit of a wide line there from Jotty, but yeah, that Mercedes with that standard livery, we'll call it, on yeah, looks fantastic, don't you agree?
Yeah, it does have some AMG Petronas F1 car vibes there. You can see some of the logos too. But yeah, as you said, they pick each car that they want, of course. I think this class is pretty balanced, to be honest. But the car that they choose has to go through all the season, all 8 rounds that we have here on the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series. So you gotta pick the right one that you feel more comfortable and you think you can go faster than the others on.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously I did a lot of testing for the championship that I'm in at the minute. The McLaren is fastest in a straight line without a doubt. BMW good everywhere. The Aston Martin is also good everywhere. The Porsche fantastic out of the slower corners. But yeah, the Mercedes and the McLaren are so fast in a straight line, as we see Philip Wirtz go to the top of the timing sheet, a 151.0. That's 2/10 quicker than what Sven managed in that BMW. As we're right on board here is Daniel with for PCF Racing. He's heading out onto his second lap. P number 7 at the minute, 2 seconds off of Philip, who has just exited back to the pits. He's going to come back out with a brand new set of tyres, as we see Daniel Robinson flash up into 4th place there. And Sven answers straight back with a 150.7. That's the first driver in the 150s. It's a fantastic lap there for Sven. And yeah, it's a decent qualifying session here. We've got 6 drivers within a second of each other. It should be decent racing.
Yeah, and so far the top 3 being different cars too.
Yes, yeah, manufacturers, it shows that, yeah, iRacing have got the balance of performance right there. As you can see, we've got BMW leading the way from McLaren, the Porsche, and then Daniel, as we've just seen, in the BMW as well. Valtteri just heading into the Ravazza section, corner 17 and 18. He's going to use all the curb on the inside, get that Aston Martin hooked up as he heads down the main straightaway to complete another lap. 3 green sectors, so what's he going to do? He should go quicker now.
He does go quicker, but only 1 increased place there. As we go now real quick with Daniel, he's got 4 green sectors. Maybe he can finally improve more on his lap. So maybe a top 5 lap here could be possible. So he goes on the last corner now and now head on to the pit straight. And what's it gonna be? He does improve his lap by about 5/10 or so. Sadly, he still needs another 5/10 to be on P7, but it's a good effort from him. I still think we can probably see more times getting improved here. We still have about 4 minutes of qualifying left for the GT4 cars, so anything is still possible here. Nothing is guaranteed. But also, on this track, yeah, Imola is not an easy course for the F tracks, that's for sure. Like, you have to really push a bit on the cut corners there. Also, be careful, of course, of the many sausage curves, but if you go a bit too wide, like on this corner here, you can get in the 1X and it completely ruins your corner. But you gotta push as much off the track as possible to get that extra 10th. As we see Yoni already with the purple first sector, let's go on to him.
Yeah, slightly slower in sector 4 there, so hopefully his purple sector in first and 2 green sectors is for a decent lap. gets it hooked onto the curb, straightens that Porsche out. He's going to fire to the line. I don't think it's going to be a pole position lap. I'm going to guess that he's going to be about 3 or 4 tenths off. Hugs the wall on the inside there as he fires to the line. And what have we got as he comes across the line? That's 2 tenths of a second, just outside the 150s. Obviously Sven, the only driver here in the 1 minute 50 second lap times, but a decent, decent second or third lap there for Yoni. I'm guessing the tyres on this Porsche are obviously warming up well with that first sector. I wonder if he made a mistake in sector 4 last time by. Yeah, time seemed to be settling down a bit. As you can see down at the bottom, there's a lot of yellow sectors, meaning that they're not on to improve their best time. So yeah, we'll see how these guys get on as they carry on.
Two minutes to go. Still some couple of cars here doing their laps. The track might get a bit too hot now to get much improvement, but we are still seeing people trying, and since we do have time, let's go for a full on board from Philip Weiss, why not?
Yeah, so we head down the main straight here, then at Imola into Tamburello. That's the left, right, left. Very quick. You've got to watch these sausage curbs on the inside. Get the car out to the left-hand side, and as we head down then into Imola. Whoa! Keep it on the barrier.
Oh.
So they're going to get to finish their laps. So I think Yorni's going to get one more attempt at this lap. I can see he's in sector 4, in sector 5 at the minute. So hopefully he crosses the line before then. Where is Yorni?
GT4s, you have 30 seconds.
And he does come across the line at 151.0. Not quite on Sven's pace. I think Sven's in the pits at the minute by the looks of it. So he's not going to go quicker. So what can Yorni do on this last lap? Does he have anything less? Can he find 2 tenths of a second? That is going to be the question, that's for sure. Let's see if I can pick up Sven. Yeah, Sven is in the pit, so he's leaving it all to Yorni at the minute. And the checkered flag has been waved for the GT4s. So we're going to watch the LMPs come out very shortly. You'll see the difference. These things are absolutely rapid. Can't really touch the floor. They do suffer quite badly with floor damage. So we stay off the sausage curbs. But yeah, it should be fantastic to see the lap time differences. So Sven, your first pole sitter here in the GT4s, the BMW sets himself off perfectly for this series with a pole position. Yorni is going to be lining up second in that Porsche. So as we said, 2 different manufacturers lock out the front row here at Imola. So that should be fantastic to see.
And look at the difference between P2 and P3. That's so marginal for 2 completely different cars. But it's nice to see that there's no clear car for the victory. But yeah, and now we are going to start seeing that the P3s are now going to do a lap. Already everyone's been bunching out too close together even. It might ruin a bit of the qualifying times because you want to go quickly out of the first lap. Ooh, they almost even touch. But then if you are faster than the car ahead, you might hit them or they will compromise the lap. So it's tough to be this close to the other cars on the start of qualifying, but we'll see. It's like
they're definitely going to need some space. We can see, Dadwell trying to get through here, going round the outside. That's a risky move, Tom. But yeah, he obviously wants some space. He wants to try and get that pole position. Hutch is trying to follow him through as well.
Ooh.
So mistake there. So yeah, they're going to have to back out of this. They're going to try and find some space. But yeah, they're going to think they probably want to get 5 or 6 laps in for qualifying, that's for sure.
It's like we are seeing a mini sprint race here.
Yeah, they're not giving each other a lot of room, are they, really? Normally you want about a second gap, as we watched Davor just back out of that completely. So he's going to yeah, set the gap up ready for his first attempt at this flying lap. As we said, we've got a lot of people in here that can put a single lap time together. We've got a lot of people who have won many championships before. Tom's a little bit close, I think, for heading out. The Altitude Esports driver heading down into Tamburello for the first time. He's right on the back of the car in front. That's not going to be ideal for him, as they both hit the brakes into the left, into the right, and yeah, keep it over to the left hand side. Mind that sausage curve in the GT cars, you can see them riding that as they can as we head into Villeneuve. Another left, right sausage curves on the inside, both the corners. Oh, a bit of a snap of oversteer. He's going to head at the inside into Tosa. And then, yeah, it was indeed, yeah. Car's not looking over so happy on the cold tyres. That's Davor through. He's going to set off up the hill into Pinaraya. And that is a fast left-hand corner. Shift down one gear. Get it in. Use all the track on the outside as they head down into Acqua Minerale. Two right-hand corners. We did see, I've seen a video of a Renault Clio going sideways from about the start of that right-hander, and yeah, that was yeah, pretty decent. Does very Ancelta, the tightest chicane on the circuit, the right entry chicane, left and right, again off track on the outside, and then as we head into the final corner, the left and right, the two lefts, sorry, of Ravassa corner 17 and 18, and that is a lap of Imola.
Still a big bunch of cars ahead of him, like what, 7, 8 tenths ahead, as we see someone slowing down to give it way too down. But yeah, these are the times to beat. People have already beat their times, and we have even Tom didn't do too badly, even if he was compromised there with fighting with what was he called? Sorry, it was Alexis. But supposedly he can now do an even better lap now that his tires are harder, of course. And he has a clear traffic ahead of him.
Yeah, Brendan obviously fastest lap. He was fastest in 3 sectors. They're absolutely flying. 4 tenths clear of Brian Loynes, and Moretz in 3rd as well. So a big gap from the front of the timing sheets at the minute, but obviously these guys warming up their tyres, using all of the road as they can. That looked like a stranded car, that did. But yeah, Brandon, 4 tenths of a second up the road. Hutchinson showing as a fastest in sector 2, so he's on a good lap as well. Moretz obviously fastest in the first sector, going green in sector 2. Struggles in sector 3 by the look of it, so yeah, it depends how close that is. The bright pink wheels of Mark Hutchinson. He's on a decent lap, again struggling in sector 3 and 4 by the looks of it. It's definitely on a decent lap here. 2 fastest sectors, a green sector and a yellow. So yeah, he's on a decent lap. Let's see what happens when he crosses the line. 39 car.
So yeah, so far we only have one person on the 148. Interesting to see. Brandon Hawkins, which we are used to dominate. We used to seeing dominate the touring car series, so mind you, which doesn't seem like he minds the rear wheel driving either.
No, and they're very, very different cars to drive. Obviously, the touring cars is all about carrying speed, and obviously these LMPs, it's all about the downforce. 2 tenths of a second in between Brandon and Brian now. Sebastian puts himself up into P number 3. But yeah, pretty decent gap there. Obviously the field not overly spread. There's still people that are waiting to put a lap time in. That you can see below the 18 car there of Alexis. Those guys haven't put a lap time in yet, as we see Hutch put the fastest second sector in. He's flying through that second sector. The green in sector 4 as well, so this is a good one. But yeah, as we can see, Moret's on a decent lap as well. What are these guys going to do? We're trying to improve even more so for Uni as he heads down the start straight. Over the line he comes. Where's this going to put him? Is he going to put him into the top 3?
Top 1.
Pole.
By a millisecond, and he got beaten instantly by Mike Richardson, and Moritz also gets a P2, and Tom Dunswell. So many great changes just all of a sudden.
Yeah, we've gone from 1 car in the 38 to about 5 now. Yeah, that's fantastic. That is. The guy that's not going to like that is Brandon. He's gone from sitting pretty at the top by about 3/10 to yeah, getting eaten up by the whole field there. That's yeah, tough for SRC Movano. Obviously, very experienced team, big team. If I'm right in saying, I think they're changing sponsors as we speak of the main team. But yeah, lovely livery on that LMP car, that's for sure.
That's enough track. Yeah, I was thinking, I figured his car was yellow, red, and black, but today we see it more black and red. Interesting to see. As we finally see now 21 cars that in general have put a lap in. Only 4 more left of the LMP3s. Sorry, 3 now. So we got a total of 25 LMP3s here and 15 GT4s. So a total of 40 cars on this race. On the multi-class race, 45 minutes on Imola. It's gonna be exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when the LMPs start catching the GT4s. 20 seconds different is the lap. So yeah, it's going to be you know, they'll probably get maybe half a stint done before the LMP3 start coming around again. And who's that that's just gone faster? That's Dadswell's just gone faster. 3/10 clear. Loins goes into second. Hutch goes up to third. Sophia Ribpath, very quiet in qualifying. Now look, puts the lap in 38.573. That puts her 4/10 off pole. But yeah, that's not a massive gap when you realise that Tom Danswell is 3/10 up the road from anybody else. As we're on the road, on board now with Kevin Spam. He's currently sitting P9, second off the pace. It's not a big gap round here, but the yeah, the Anti-Store racing driver doing well here, putting a decent show in as he heads into his, I think, about 4 or 5 laps now. Got a couple of minutes left of qualifying. As we ride on board here with Brian Loins, he is heading. Let's try and work out where he is. He is heading on to the Aqua Minerale. That's as we head up the hill, using all the curve on the left-hand side. As we head into Variante Alta, the right-left chicane here. So we'll take a little bit of curve on the right, bounce that car over, and spin. Too much curb is what that was. So Brian will have a reset.
He still has the time to do 1 extra lap if he goes in right now, from the pits even. But I think he's just gonna keep going, it's better, because, you know, the tires are already hot.
Yeah, I think the tyre wear on these cars, I think they get faster over the stint. So yeah, I'd expect to see Brian staying out as Sophia Rigbat, slowest in the first sector, 2 fastest in sector 2 and 3. Where is she going to go? That's a 10th behind Tom Dadswell, a 38.222. That's a fantastic lap there from Sophia. As you see, Braden struggling a little bit. I wonder what that Movano car's doing. He's down in 8th place at the minute, 0.5 of a second as he head back out. And there's a car off in the background. That was a big off. That's somebody that doesn't need another lap. As we've just seen Dan Morey fly up the timing sheet. That puts him into 12th place. But yeah, as we ride on board here with Brendan, down past Tosa, heading up the hill. Traction is needed here because this is a long drag up the hill. We see Sophia Ribpath on the left-hand side. She's on a slow down lap. That'll be her qualifying lap done. obviously goes off the road there into Aqua Minerale. We go, head it over the left-hand side, pick out the curb on the right, ride it, get on the brakes, and mind those sausage skills, Brandon. You don't want to be hitting them at all, not in this thing. So we head to where we saw Loinsy make a mistake there into Variante Alta. Better over the curves, almost looked the same kind of line, but yeah, fantastic there. Everybody heading back into the pit lane. A lot of people saying that's enough for me. So we see on the left-hand side of the display, you can see Sophia's in the pits, Brian Loins in the pits, Mark Hutchinson's in the pits. They won't be doing it again. Dadswell has exited back to the pits, so 1:38.5, that's the best he's going to do. Brandon, not quickest in the first couple of sectors, but fastest in the last sector. What does he do? He does a 1:38.7. That's good enough for P8. I'm going to guess he'll be pretty disappointed with that, as you say. An excellent racer in the touring cars. As you see, Kevin Spam heading up into P11 there with that last ditch effort. The checkered flag is out. Finish the laps you are on. No one really looking to improve there, but yeah, a fantastic qualifying session. I think you'd agree, GT4s and LMPs.
Yeah, for sure. And we already see Alex is just practicing his pit entry probably, because we will have to pit once at least, since it's not full fuel for every car. It's about 60% for LMP3s and 44 for the GT4. So there's still going to be some pit strategy in the 45-minute races. So it's good that they practice also the pit entry, you know. You don't want to get that classic high speed inside the pits for the 45-second penalty.
Yeah, and it's such a fast entry as well. You're on the racing line, and you've got to get into the pits as quickly as you can. But yeah, fantastic result. Obviously Sven on pole in the GT4s, and yeah, Dadswell on pole for the LMP3s.
You see it. Yeah. See Kevin just improves his Kevin Gavin, I mean. So there was still time to do an extra lap there. But should be heading out for the gridding in a bit. Yeah, exciting qualifying, what promises to be an exciting race as well.
Yeah, I think Tom's just been beaten to pole. I think there's a last ditch lap come in from Mr. Austin. I think he's taken pole.
Yeah, he has. He has.
Oh no!
I thought we were already done, but no, it was actually right at the end.
Yeah, 1:37. So one driver in the 37s, the last lap of qualifying there, and yeah, that's yeah, pole position taken away from Dadswell right at the death of everything. Fantastic lap to get in the 1:37s around here.
Indeed. So why is it not showing the grid? We do have still a warm-up though, so people still have some time to go to the bathroom and stuff. But I wanted to click on the grid, but it didn't show me the results for some reason. It will show before the race starts anyway, so we just check on what the other drivers are doing. No biggie.
Ah yes, 5-minute warm-up.
Yeah.
5-minute warm-up. Need to get ready, get everything set.
We still see a lot of people are still on the track, practicing their race setups, possibly.
Yeah, different setups from quali to race. So yeah, different fuel levels. The car's going to feel ever so slightly different. Obviously, they've got to work out what the car's like on cold tyres. I know from the GT4s they're pretty slidey, as we see two LMPs going side by side.
Oh, there was a big crash behind.
Yeah, not side by side for very long, that's for sure.
Can test out real quick. How did it look like? Oof. It's anti-stall on anti-stall murder there. Oh, 3 of them! Alright. Hopefully that doesn't happen through the race.
Good damage model though. I saw that LMP3 just gets obliterated into about 8 different pieces, which is not ideal, but yeah, good to see these guys out on track. Obviously, practicing this first lap, very different. Philip Wirtz from WS Racing Esports, fantastic team, very quick indeed. And that chrome Porsche looks fantastic in the light. The spec models brilliant in our racing. Really makes these cars shine. But always looks really different in the mirrors of a car. When you got a chrome car sat right behind you.
It does look interesting to see. An old chrome car. It definitely stands out from the rest. You can definitely tell who it is just from looking at the livery now. It's gonna be Harry. But yeah, a lot of good liveries in general here as well. Not just Harry, of course. We see a lot of different teams, a lot of teammates as well. But a lot of different colors. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I mean, painting is one of these things that takes absolute hours. But yeah, once you find a decent paint, you roll it out to every sort of car that you've got going. And this WS racing car is known for having really nice racing. As we have a look at Harry's chrome Porsche as well. And one of the Altitude Esports cars. This is Brian Loyne's. Again, they some drivers, as you'll see, if they're racing for the same team, they may have such things as different colour end plates on the wings, different colour wheels some of the guys go for, or even both. Always nice to see their flags as well.
I just found out something interesting here. Hold on. Let's see how it looks from this side. There we go, yeah. So these are the qualifying results for the LMP3s. We have Jeremy Armstrong in first place, Tom Dadswell in P2, Sophia Ripbath in P3, Brian Loynes on P4, Mark Hutchinson in P5, Juan Micosta in P6, Moise Wainwright in P7, Brendan Hawkin in P8, Rupi Kukipa, sorry, I'm really butchering some names here, in P9, Jens in P10, Kevin Stan P11, Sebastian in P12, Dan Murray in P13, Wessel Bakema in P14, Diogo Theodore in P15, Leon Edevut in P16, Piers Berry in P17, Kevin Peridon in P18, and let's just go here. Pedro Arnaud in P19, Andy Tatman in P20, Yanni Kakkonen in P21, Stefan Rossman in P22, Kevin Galvin in P23, Alex Cadre in P24, Emerson Gaudi in P25. And then we check on for the different class here. We have Sven in pole position of GT4, Yoni Yemi P2 of GT4, Philip Race. There we go. Now it changed again. Let's just see the grid here on. Hold on, let me just hide this.
Okay, guys, good luck. And just a reminder for the start zones. Do not try to go until the leader accelerates within that zone. And just a reminder that blue flags are only mandatory to class. So that is not if you're blue flag from LMP3. It is only if you're within the same class. So good luck, guys, and all the best.
That's Steve from our race control giving warnings for the distancing for between classes. So yeah, Philip Race in P3 or GT4, Valtteri Kallio in P4, Dan Robinson in P5, Alex May in P6, Harry Hunila in P7, Daniel Reinke in P8, Yoni in P9, Yote is in P10, Matteo Lemare in P11, Ryan Panticio in P12, Pierre-Yves Tissot in P13, Sarah Schmidt in P14, and Johan Brinstel in P15. So let's go on to the race, shall we?
Yeah, rolling start here. 5-second gap between the back end of the LMPs and the start of the GT4s. So Jeremy going to be heading on to the start straight. He is going to control the field once this pace car peels off to the right, and Dadswell's going to be sat watching him, watching his every move, trying to find out when he's going to go. They can't go before the pit lane, so they're going side by side as they head down for round number 1, race number 1 of the Anti-Stall League Sports Car Series, and away we go. That's a fantastic jump from Jeremy Dadswell, caught napping there as Sophia Ridpath stays in 3rd place. The 2 Altitude Esports cars sitting in P4 and 5. They've got to be careful how they're going to work it out together. We're trying not to go 2 by 2 as we head into Tamburello for the first time. Let's sort ourselves out. Let's get single file as somebody was getting a little bit sideways in the back there. But yeah, all seem to be well and away. We've watched that GT4s as well. They've come through the first sort of sector as well. Sven bolted at the start there. He was gone. So yeah, brilliant start from him as we see 2 by 2 in through Tamburello. The LMPs, they're going to be down at Tosa, so yeah, no accidents. There's 2 by 2 here. That's going to be Philip Agnoni as we see Dadswell and Brendan heading up together. That's past Loins, so the Movano driver heading up, trying to make way. He's already up 3 places from where he started, rocking that number 1 car. So yeah, what would be the series champion if we had one already. But yeah, fantastic start there, nice and clean. That's Sophia Ridpath going a little bit on the defensive as they go up into Tamburello. As we're heading round, watching these GT4s, there's a lock up there. That was somebody going across the grass. That's one of the anti-stall cars. And we've got to be careful now because there's going to be a lot of slowdowns. We can see on board here with Andy Tapman. He's looking each way and every way as we're heading down into Ravazza. And they're 3 wide up in front. So yeah, they've got to be careful on the brakes here. 2 anti-stall cars side by side as they complete the first lap. Sven has absolutely checked out here. Oh, as we see Leon put it into the barriers, he's going to want to get that back to the pits.
In between me and number 39, please.
He needs to be quick because the GT4s are coming in real fast. As we see, the GT4 leader is already on the last corner. Yeah, so Leon is going straight into the pits, so he doesn't get the trouble. They have fast repair at least once, but he will have trouble afterwards for pitting since he won't have enough fuel. And we see back on the LMP3 grid, still going on, racing so strong.
Yeah, it's great, and we've seen an overtake on that first lap. That's Dadswell past Ortstring. He's dropping down massively now. He's losing time, hand over fist. So something's happened there between Dadswell and Ortstring. He's yeah, down into 3rd place. Sophia Ridpath takes up P2. He's going to try and chase down Mr. Dadswell as we watch Sebastian here heading into Aqua Minerale up the top. And who's that? That was somebody looking all sorts of swirly. I don't know who that was.
That was K-Fan. Yeah. Oh, and we see also someone else going almost off track. I mean, this is someone else going off track there. But everyone is back here, so all fine. Still, we have a slowdown there for K-Fan. Look at how this grid is like super close to each other. And look, we do see someone going off.
Yeah, it's not the type of circuit where you can go too wide all the way through.
Indeed.
So, yeah, as you can see on the graphic as well, if you're looking at the, if you want to find the close battles, have a look at the orange numbers. That's that closest these guys are going to get. As they head a little bit further away, they turn into a yellow number, and then the white number is a decent gap, as we can see here with Sophia Ridpath starting in the P number 3, obviously now up to P number 2, with Jerome having a little bit of an instant ride on board with Mark Hutchinson of Altitude Esports. Dadswell leads the way for Altitude as well. So we've got Ridpath and Ortstein in a Altitude sandwich. Hutchinson decent through quali, he's going to start trying to get on the back of Jerome. Obviously, he had an issue there on lap number 2. But yeah, fantastic that yeah, these guys have got off so well. Not too much carnage in the first sort of couple of laps, but a guy who's not seen any carnage at all, Sven Damau, he has checked out. We're on lap number 2, and that man leads by 3.1 seconds. He has exited the stage left. He doesn't want to be in any sort of battles here. Bjorn's trying to keep up, but yeah, losing time. He's got Philip Wirtz behind him, the WS Racing driver. So yeah, these guys are going to try and hunt down Sven. Sven does not want to play, as we see Dadswell put in the fastest lap. Jerome then beats that lap at 38.7. So these guys are all running around about the same times as they're starting to catch the first traffic. That's a Porsche in the middle of Tamburello. Dadswell's not going to like that at all. Gap down 0.3 of a second now to Ripath. So yeah, locked onto the back of that Altitude Esports car as we're riding on board here with Jerome, watching this battle in front as they head into Toaster for the third time. 5 minutes quickly down, 40 minutes to go in yeah, round number 1 of the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series. But yeah, fantastic start, fantastic open laps, and yeah, not too much carnage.
We do see here a crash. I wonder what happened to these two drivers. Oh, and went off track. And it spins from the curbs, apparently.
Yeah, I think it's because the yeah, the floor is obviously so low, and there's not a lot of room as soon as they get on the curb. Yeah, that's gonna kick the back end of the car out, I think.
So, let's see how it goes on with our GT4 grid here. We see a really close gap between Daniel Robinson here and Alex May at BMW versus a Porsche.
Yeah, it's good that we've got so many drivers racing so many different cars as we roll on board here with the NDLR Motorsport driver of Daniel Robinson. He's heading up, trying to get on the back of this Porsche. We'll probably see during the lap the difference in the we call it the balance of performance here in iRacing. You'll see the car is better in certain stages of the lap, and yeah, that BMW super safe through over the curve. So you'll probably see 2 different lines here as they head up into Variante Alta. As you saw the LMP cars staying away from the curbs, you'll probably see these 2 GT4 cars hitting the curbs as hard as they can. You see them bounce on the left, bounce on the right as they yeah, now head down into Ravazza, the downhill left-hander as we're yeah, heading into almost, I'm going to say, lap number 4. So yeah, it should be pretty decent, and yeah, it's nice to see some familiar faces in the chat. Mr. Dadswell, Pete Dadswell, is always a massive supporter of his son Tom, so yeah, it's good to have Pete in the chat watching the boys. And yeah, that gap not getting any bigger to Ripath, but probably just managing the gap 0.4 of a second. As you can see, these top 3 all using the same bit of tarmac. Is Jeremy, is he fuel saving? Is he playing the long game? Dadswell obviously has the pace. Ripath obviously has the pace. They've slightly dropped Hutchinson, and Brandon hasn't been able to get onto the back of these guys. So yeah, if you watch Jerome, what is he going to do? He's going to pull out of the draft. Is he going to go around the outside there? There's not normally a gap there. Bags off as they head into Tamburello. The left, right, left as they head out now. Down towards Villeneuve. Flat out in these cars. Pick the braking point. Watch out for the escape road on the right-hand side. As you see the brake lights come on the back of these LMP cars. And look, we are catching the GT4s. Is this the back of the GT4 class? That's 8 minutes in.
See a lot of people here together. 4 cars for a battle for P11.
Yeah, fantastic battle here. This is going to be interesting when they start catching the LMP3s.
There's an attempt.
Yeah, that's a great move there. Fantastic from Pedro. That was yeah, a good bit of driving. So yeah, they're getting close, these guys. I'm actually on board with Johnny, who is getting passed now by the GT4s and LMPs, and this is going to be interesting. We'll probably see the gaps start opening and closing. Ripath gets stuck there into very anti-alta behind that GT car. The flash of the lights from the LMP cars, they know that they're there. But yeah, Dadswell slightly managed to break away there, got a little bit lucky with traffic. 7/10 of a second the gap now, but Jerome still on the rear gearbox of Ripath. He's going nowhere, and Hutchinson now back past Brandon. So yeah, 10th of a second. These guys going at it. The Altitude Esports drivers and the Movano course driver. Brandon heading round the outside. That's the long way round as they're heading down into Tamburello. What's Hutchinson going to do? Is he going to back off? No, he's not. He's going to outbrake the Movano driver. And look who's sat behind him. Loins, also an Altitude Esports driver. That's a sandwich that you don't want to be in. You've got a teammate in front and a teammate behind. And if I was Brandon now, it'd be interesting. He's got GT4 traffic in front. Has to check up behind that Aston Martin. Because, this is going to be an interesting battle. This is for sure.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Brian stopped in time before he hit Brandon there. Otherwise, it would be too dangerous to even try to overtake from the grass or something, you know? As we see, still a lot of gaps in between. For example, what's Jeremy and Sophie doing here? I think they are in the middle of traffic, trying to get through. And at the same time, Tom is trying to be as quickly as possible through, because he still needs to leave a gap, otherwise Sophia might catch from slipstream alone. Let's see. Flashing a light headlights there.
Yeah, and we've got live stewarding as well. We can see that there's some incidents involving the cars, and there's no further action at the minute, so no harm, no foul. The guy who is checking out here is Sven de Maal. He is disappearing up the road. That gap now 5.3 seconds. Sven's got this under control. That BMW driving very, very nicely indeed. Obviously very good through the traffic there. 3/10 was the gap last time by. As interesting now as we head on. Valtteri, who's that going wide? That's somebody taking the wrong line. I think that is Alex May just going off the circuit there. Maybe a little bit spooked as he tries to get back on to the racing circuit. But yeah, fantastic from Valtteri here, heading through in that Porsche, heading into Tota. Got a bit of clear space at the minute. As we watch, it's Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson going off the track there in that BMW, trying to get it back onto the circuit, being as safe as he can, using all the road to try and get on. What happened here? That was a little bit late on the brakes. Contact between himself and that Porsche, and he takes the escape road, we'll call it.
I mean, let's just check on the map real quick, because I am seeing a lot of people are together, both classes even. And there's a big gap between the last corner and the first and second chicane. There's only 2 cars, so for now, afterwards, I think it should be clear for our race leaders of LMP3 to be clear of traffic. After about 3 cars. Of course, we still have about 15 minutes, I would say, before they start pitting, and it will mix all of the grid again.
Yeah, I don't really know the times for the pit stops, but as we watch Loinsy going on the defensive there, that's going to be a late break as he outshot himself. No, he's not. He's got that LMP car stopped, but yeah. Mr. Costa all over the back of that Altitude Esports car. They're going past Sven. That is your leader in the GT4s, so they'll know that, they'll see that, and give him a bit of space. Sven pulling out that gap. 6.6 seconds is now the gap. 14 minutes into this race. Jerome trying to stay on the back of Ripath. He's obviously had a bit of an issue coming through traffic, but as we go on board now with Moretz. He's currently P13 at the minute.
and closing in by Andy Detman, I mean. Really closing in. Look at the distance now. It could be an opportunity for overtake on a fast corner, maybe, or maybe be patient for the next one. And he gets patient for the next corner. Even though they have to be careful because of the lap GT4 car here on the outside. Still closing the distance, waiting for the right opportunity, right corner to do so. And see if they don't get troubled by the traffic ahead. Should be a faster overtake if it's done without the traffic. Meanwhile, we are seeing again the top three still about 1.5 seconds between each other. You know, it's not like a dominance from Tom Dadswell here compared to Sven, who's 7 seconds ahead of P2 of Joniemi in GT4 class. Seems that Sven got this really handled with really good control, right?
Yeah, it's obviously that that BMW's flying along very nicely here. Joni just in the middle of that traffic still, and Philip not far away either. A little bit more under control, I'd say. Sven's got this race. Obviously, we're only got 15 minutes, 17 minutes in now, so Sven heading out towards Tosa. He's not going to be looking in his mirrors. He'll be seeing these LMPs coming up behind him, but this BMW looking fantastic at the minute. No issues on board at all. As we're watching Sophia Ridpath. She's heading up through that last sector. The gap now to Dadswell, 0.9 of a second. Dadswell almost out of the draft, not quite. Think about the draft here is almost round a second, but Jerome not giving up either, still sitting there in P number 3. But Philip now getting onto the back of Joni in the GT4. This is going to be a battle for second and third. So Philippe for WS Racing Esports closing onto the back of Joni as they head through Varianzi Alta. Over the curbs they go. That McLaren is fast in a straight line. That Porsche is fast out of the corners. So as they head down to Ravazza, what is going to happen? Turn 17 and 18 here at Imola. As you join us for the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series. This is round number 1. You've missed the start if you're just joining us. It's it's going to be a great series. We're expecting to see the cars into pit. As we're going to see a dive from LMP. That's going to be contact there. Pushes the GT4 off. No massive harm there. Oh, just didn't manage to keep it in, as hopefully reverses back off the racing circuit. Going to use his mirrors. Hopefully pulls back on it safely. And Daniel for PCF Racing just having a little bit of an incident there. But no damage to that Aston Martin. But the McLaren is going to go past as we ride on board. That's 3 wide as we're heading out of Tamburello. Oh, the car's touching a straight line. That's an anti-stall car, a Marshmallow Racing. As those two come together, and there's cars off everywhere. That's going to be in the barrier. That's definitely going to be full of damage. Moret's going to need to get that back to the pits. As that all happens in front of Sven, our GT4 leader at the minute. The gap now 7 seconds. But back at the front of the LMPs, 0.4 of a second. Sophia Ridpath closing down Dadswell. Jerome sat at the back of this. It'll be interesting to see if he's saving fuel. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So we'll go on board with Jerome. Let's see what is he doing. Just riding on board myself. Sounds a little bit of fuel saving, that's for sure. At the back of that path, 0.7 of a second, the gap between first and third, as we said earlier. Sven's got this GT4, he's checked out, he broke the gaps early, as Dadswell at the front of this LMP field, as they head up now into Piratella. That's the fast left-hand corner. They get over the top, brake at the 50 mark, send it in, use all the curve on the left-hand side, push the car wide, and head down into Acqua Minerale. Watch the 2 sausage curves on the right-hand side. And as it tightens up, get off the brakes, rib path right on the back of Dadswell now, 4/10 of a second that gap. As yeah, P2 and P3 in GT4, gap down to 2/10 of a second. McLaren chasing the Porsche here at Imola. The Porsche looks pretty decent out of the slow stuff. The McLaren struggles a little bit with on power understeer, but yeah, Philippe doing a fantastic job here, keeping it in the top 3 as the LMP going to go around the outside. He'll probably then stick there and yeah, then pass Yorni as they head up the hill there. Fantastic. As you can see, the gaps changing as Jerome, here he comes on the back of Sophia, rib path. That car in front getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's well heading out to try and get some draft off the back of the GT4 in front, gets a little bit balked on the apex there.
Ooh. That was amazing, amazing avoidance. Apart from the last grip that Sophia would actually, you know, miss the corner, but no, she kept it really tight and managed to also avoid the accident to the GT4 car. And we see here an attempt of a pass here. Jeremy going on the outside, maybe trying a switchback, and no, it didn't work. Still trying to see if the window to the inside is clear here. I guess it's gonna try next time, apparently. Alright, so we see here also Bell here. Side by side the first chicane here. And then he gets passed by Jans. Nice move here. But yeah, it has a lot of different skill levels here, as you can see. So it also means that everyone has someone to compete with in skill level, so to say. They're never really alone, but yeah. We saw Jeremy losing a lot of time just now from the GT4 class. That's going to take a long while to get those 2 seconds back to Sophia. Meanwhile, yeah, I've seen that the GT4s have started to pit.
Ah, perfect, yes, and Philip still on the back of Yorni in front as we see car number 20. Who is that? That's a time penalty for 10 seconds causing a collision, so that's going to be added on to his race time at the end, so we'll find out who that is. And yeah, a bit of a shame. We don't like difficult, but yeah, the joys of live stewarding. We can see these things happening as Ribpath just drops off the back of Dadswell ever so slightly, but yeah, somebody who's yeah, not got any issues at all as Ropey just loses a place there to oh no, those two are battling. Those two are super close. P6 and P7 in the LMPs. They're obviously going through traffic. A 1/10 of a second difference. As out of the pits there goes Brandon Hawkins. I'm not sure what happened to him. A 209. I'm going to say that was an incident last time by. But yeah, the first of the pitters. Diego also into the pits. He's in the pit lane. So was there an incident between those two? Or are we starting to see the LMP3s pitting as well? So yeah, Jerome just dropping off the back now of Sophia. He's also got Hutchinson not far behind. Loins 7 seconds behind Hutch as well.
So another crash here that has to jump to the pits. Wonder what happened here. We just see the car just hitting the wall. Was it possibly? No, it looks like it was a control destination. Hold on. Let's see behind again.
Yeah, so, it looks like a. What happens here? So he shifts into 4th, and weird. Yeah, it looks like a hardware issue there. Then we do get those in iRacing every now and again. The dreaded sound of the USB disconnecting. That's not what you want at all. As Dadswell into the pit, so the race leader of the LMP into the pit lane. Hopefully that's a scheduled stop. As Ribpath takes the lead, that is a scheduled stop there for Dadswell as the Altitude Esports car heads down onto pit lane. And out of pit lane goes Dadswell. So that's a stop done for the race leader from Altitude Esports. And hopefully, who's that in the pits? That's Andy Tapman here for Anti-Stall Racing. He's exiting pits as well. Pulls into the box.
Missed it.
overshoots his box. Is the car going to go up on the jacks? The fuel goes in first for these LMPs, so we'll watch this. I don't think they'll be taking tyres.
Actually, no, they all do the same time now.
Ah, perfect. There we go then. So Ridpath takes up the LMP3 lead as she flies down towards the final two corners. Into Rabat as she goes. So is she going to be pitting this time by? We're currently 15 laps into this 45-minute race. Halfway down, she does not pit. So is Dadswell trying something a little bit funky here? Does he know something that Ridpath doesn't? It'd be interesting to see the lap times of the guys, see what they're doing as this battle rages on here for GT4. Philip not getting off the back of Yorni's car, and we've had Ben obviously into the pits that time by. He's on pit exit, so the BMW driver who checked out early in the first part of this race pits early, gets out of traffic. As we see the battle now for first and second between Yorni and Phil, heading to Toaster as they head up the hill. That is Jerome behind them, going past them. That is P number 2 overall in the LMPs. So you see Yorni move over to the right, the left-hand side there, gets out of the way of the LMP car. I think they're part of the same team, so won't want to hinder them at all. But yeah, interesting to see that the two leaders of the classes pit early compared to everybody else. Ridpath that's still going along very nicely. Jerome's in his second, Hutchinson up to third, Loinsy up to fourth, Rope in fifth. As yeah, interesting to see what happens this time by. Are we going to see any more pit stops? 26 minutes down to this 45-minute race here. Round number 1 of the Anti-Stall Racing League Sports Car Series as we ride on board here with Jerome. What is going to happen here? There's a slow GT4 car as Ridpath tries to enter the pit lane. Off she goes, gets on the brakes. That's Ridpath into the pit lane. Hutchinson follows her. What's Loinsy going to do? He's going round again. So yeah, a lot of different strategies. We see Yorni and Phillips both on the pit exits. That's the GT4 battle. I think these guys have come out together. It says they've got 6 meters between them. That's not even a car length. So it'd be interesting to see what these guys are doing both in the pits there. That is the GT4 second and third as Jerome takes up the lead then of the LMPs. Loins 9 seconds back. So Ridpath on pit exits and Hutchinson on pit exit. Dadswell goes past them. Dadswell goes past Hutchinson as well, and Ridpath. So the Altitude Esports driver comes out in front of Sophia. So we're going to assume then that he's going to take up the start.
Yeah, the pit stop was actually shorter than Tom's there. But we also see that we lose about 44 seconds, so that's how much time we lose if we quit. Stationary is about 21 seconds, of course. But what I find it interesting is this is a big pit lane, a big pit lane, but it does put you on a certain path. If you pit, you have to exit on a really good space between the cars, so that you don't get between the other class of the same class cars, of course, and the GT4s, which might have been stopped already, all of them.
Yeah, exactly, and you lose so much time with the LMPs. So Jeremy into the pit lane. He is our leader at the minute, so he's gone those extra couple of laps. As we see Yanni in the YouTube chat letting us know that he lost VR tracking. So DNF for me, he says. So that was the incident that we watched. That LMP car looked like it went straight on, and yeah, as we said, hardware issue there, unfortunately. So that's no points scored this evening. As we head on board here with Mr. Costa heading down into the last turns of Bravazza. We're calling this 16. This is 17 and into 18, and he's got Brandon behind him from Lavano as well. So these guys having a great battle. Brandon not going up as much as we thought, but Ropey, and who's that? That's going to be Loins on pit exit. Who's going to give up first? Ropey's going to be in front there, that's for sure. So yeah, Brian Loynes for Altitude Esports, having a good showing this evening. P number 6 at the minute, but yeah, going longer than most people in the pit stops. Dadswell obviously knew something about that pit stop. 2.8 seconds now, so whether he pitted before he hit that GT traffic, as you said, but yeah, fantastic start now for Dadswell. Jerome still glued to the back of Sophia Ridspath's LMP3s. These guys travelling along nicely now. They've got a bit of a gap in between themselves and some more GT traffic. As you can see, track map, top right-hand corner. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've got cars all over the circuit. No massive gaps, no massive clumps of cars anymore, apart from these two fighting well. You can see Dadswell just disappearing in the distance ever so slightly. We watched him go over the hill there, as we see the battle here for P2 and P number 3 in the LMP traffic. Going back to the GT4s, Sven still dominates. 10.9 seconds the gap to the leader now of the GT4 series, ahead of Yoni and Philip. Those two still battling 0.3 of a second. The gap between P2 and P number 3. Valtteri having a fairly lonely race, you would say. 3.9 seconds then off the back of Philip, but that can all change. And yeah, then we've got Daniel Robinson, Yotti behind him as well, and Matteo, and then Daniel again in the Aston Martin ahead of Ryan as well. So yeah, fantastic. And that was a slightly wide line there from Yoni. That McLaren's going to get on the power early, try and get past his Porsche. I can see what's going to happen down into turn 1.
For so long, but still Phil doesn't have the right opportunity to do the overtake on Yoni. But it might come soon. It's still like 2/10, so there's always a chance, especially when traffic mixes up the overtaking attempts. But we still see 14 minutes left, so he might do it. Like, he's already looking. He's already checking if it's the right time to do it, you know?
Yeah, he's obviously been watching Yoni, see where he's faster, see who's quicker in what places. Where is that Porsche fast? Where's the McLaren fast? Obviously the same lines, different cars, but yeah, that McLaren fast up the hill. You can see that right on the back of that Porsche. That gap closing ever so slightly. They're going to get on the brakes as they head into Piratella. And yeah, down now into Aqua Minerale. Got an LMP car going at the inside of one of them. He sticks in between.
Yeah, it separates now a bit more, so Fem's gonna have to fight a bit more to catch Yoni again. As you see now, the top 3 of LMP3, still a battle really close. Still trying as well.
Yeah, it's good that we've got 2 battles, 2nd and 3rd in both the classes as well. And as we look down to if we can look down to P6, 7 and 8, these guys are so close. That's Brandon going past everybody, but oh, that's almost 3 wide. The Altitude Esports car in front there of Loynes.
Right there.
Was indeed. As Jerome has got past Sophia Ripath, I think we just about missed that. Somehow, yeah. Jerome past Ripath for P2, so that's a move done there. Gap now up to 0.3 of a second, ever so quickly. But Brandon fastest in the touring cars, that's for sure. Moved over to LMPs for this season.
Ooh.
That was almost an instant.
Yeah, I saw the car almost going inside the other one, but I think it's fine. Both cars are fine here. If you see another crash happening, let's just see what happened here. Between Ryan and Disco, he was P12 of his class. Ooh, a little off track there. Still kept it on the road, so it's fine. Good to evade the mistakes there that he did. So now the distance are even. Wait, what happened to Brandon? Oh yeah, Brandon did get a gap between Iguan and me there, but he is closer to Brian. We see also the battle between P3 of LMP3 still hasn't ended. There's still half a second in between each other. Between Philip Weiss and Yoniemi in the GT4s, though, it did gap because of those the LMP3, and he's trying, Brandon trying to do an overtake from the outside, taking the opportunity from the traffic there. And he does get ahead of Brian Lawrence. Good job.
Yeah, that was GT traffic there, sitting in the middle of the road. Nothing they could do as they got absolutely swarmed there by Lawrence and Brandon. Again, nothing they can do. They've just got to stay on their line. That's the best thing that they can do. But yeah, fantastic overtake there from Brandon. Went around the outside, used the downforce of this LMP car as we now watch Sophia Ridpath trying to get her P2 back. She's been in P2 for most of the race, as we didn't see in the start of the race before the pit stop. The gap to Dadswell up front was about sort of 7 or 8 tenths of a second. Now he leads by 3.7, not quite as well as Sven. Sven has checked out here, 12 seconds up the road. That man is gone. He's going to be a huge contender for the championship if he continues to dominate like this. It's going to be a fantastic result for the BMW driver here as we watch Sophia Ridpath still on the back of Jerome's car, and that's a GT.
Missed the corner.
Out the wall.
Watch out for the U-return. Thankfully, no one was around, so it's fine. But yeah, we did see he's too much curb and the car just jumped there, unfortunately for Sophia. Still keeping that P3 position, but now Mark Hutchinson right behind is looking to get an extra position, a podium on his first race here. Can he do it?
Yeah,
also,
the Altitude Esports driver there catching up to Sophia with that mistake. So it'll be an Altitude Esports 1-3 if that happens. So Hutchinson within a tenth of a second now of Ridpath. Loinsey still trying to get on the back of Brandon. These two lapping fairly consistency. The cars are looking fantastic. They're both very good through traffic. But yeah, the three of them all making their way. Gap now out from Ridpath to Hutchinson at 4 tenths of a second. As we have a look at Daniel for PCF. Oh.
So far it's good, so far it's good.
Are they going to meet in the middle?
No, and unfortunately Daniel gets the worst of it. So he spins out, trying to maneuver there. Thankfully no one was around and managed to return safely again to the track. I wonder if I can see, oh yeah, I can see how many off tracks people have, but I don't think I can see if people are already reaching the drive-through penalty. Again, if they reach 17 incidents, they do get a drive-through. 5 incidents afterwards, each time gets another drive-through. So, and this track is not easy for the off tracks, that's for sure.
No, every sort of chicane has got either a bit of grass, a gravel trap, or a wall pretty close indeed. But this man, absolutely phenomenal. Sven de Maal setting the timing sheets alive here. Leads by 12.8 seconds, just under 10 minutes to go here. Round number 1 of the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series. That man has been dominant in the GT4s as we have a look at our now dominating Tom Dadswell. Altitude Esports leading the way here on the Anti-Stall Racing Season 1 of the Sports Car Series. So yeah, fantastic to see as well. Jerome not too far back, now going to pass his teammate there as they yeah, they've obviously split the classes there. It's good to see the team putting in GT4 and LMP cars as Hutchinson passed Ridpath that last time by. Is she struggling? Are those tyres suffering a bit on Ridpath's car? Fantastic result though, P4 at the minute. And you'll agree, a beautiful livery on that car as well. But yeah, as we said earlier, Altitude Esports 1-3 at the minute. Those boys are going to be happy. So yeah, Ridpath keeping up with Hutchinson 0.6 of a second the gap. They're going to try and get past LMP cars.
Let's see the overtake that Mark Hutchinson did on Sofia. So this was it. Oh, Sofia went off track.
Yeah, obviously just missed her braking point into Tamburello. Hutchinson didn't need a second attempt, and obviously something's gone on there because that gap was 0.6. It's now down to 0.2. Ridpath right up onto the back of that Altitude Esports car, and they're going to split. I think that's Philip's car. Obviously he's dropped off the back of Yoni. That gap now 1.6 seconds, so we're going to head past the second place car of Yoni, and these two battling now then for the last place podium position here in the LMP3s as they head through Variati Alta. Both jumping the curve on the left hand side. Hutchinson on the throttle early as they head down into Ravazza. Ridpath on the back of that Altitude Esports car for VR Racing. The lone entry here for VR Racing, but fantastic to see these guys entering the championship this year.
5 minutes to go. Still a lot of possibility for an overtake here. Still for Sofia to get back on the podium. Might be even this lap. Look at the speed they're approaching here on the first chicane, and tries on the outside. And he missed again. Another cutting on this chicane. It's gonna take a while to get that gap again down. But still, we saw how fast Sofia got to Mark before. Maybe he can get it back, but Rupic right behind. Now watching the opportunity to probably get a... No, sorry. It was actually a left LMP3 there behind. So, yeah, the position for P4 for Sofia is still pretty much guaranteed here as long as they keep it on the road there. And let's see another close battle is between Juan Micos and Brian Lowe's. And of course Brandon in P6 there, also trying to get away from Juani. This might be it, already going on the inside of Brian. And decides to go against it, save it for another time probably. Might not have been the rest time to overtake there. And possibly even on the straight. We saw a lot of overtakes going on the first chicane. Maybe he's saving it for the that opportunity, because these cars do have a really strong sweep trim, you probably have noticed.
Yeah, and it's getting it stopped at the end of the straight into Tamburello. We saw Ridpath.
Sofia just went to the pit. Was that the incident limit that was passed? Let's see. If they go straight, then it means, yeah, they have reached the 17Xs and they are now exiting the pit. So, yeah, too many off track, especially. Don't think there was much of the context, mostly just off tracks. But they are back on road in P10. Oof, that's a lot of position spins. Again, this is a long pit lane road, so you miss a lot of time compared to some other tracks.
Yeah, we saw Ridpath go off a couple of times into Tamburello. Such a shame, running so well indeed. And who's that going sideways? That wasn't the optimal line. Obviously,
that was Brian.
Mr. Loynes dropping down 2 seconds now behind Yami. But yeah, still a decent result for these guys. So we're on board here with P6 as we jump to Diego. Diego's heading across the start line. That's 0.3 of a second. Stefan in front of him. That gap has just slowly been coming down. But yeah, massive chunk of time there. 2 seconds. Diego was faster that time by for AZR Motorsport. He is flying up the back. He's going to want to try and make a pass. Not too long to go now. 44 minutes coming up on the clock. So we're going to get this lap and one more, as you can see from the graphic there. Diego flying up 9 tenths, 8 tenths, 1.4 seconds. That gap has been coming down. Diego flying for this AZR Motorsport. Onto the back then of Stefan. How is this going to play out? Dadswell leads by 5 seconds in front of Jerome and Hutchinson. And Sven class of his own this evening, leads by 15.1 seconds from Yorny and Philip. Valtteri sits 4th, and Robinson is 5th as well, as this battle heats up, potentially going on to the last lap now. These guys, as they head down into Ravazza, turn 17 and 18. Are we going to see a rib path style move here? Is Diego going to set him up? Jump on board with Brandon. Struggling now with his tyres. I think that gap to Yami has closed down. 0.6 of a second is now that gap. Is this a last ditch attempt here from Yami to get onto the back of the Movano driver as they head down into Aqua Minerale as GT4 traffic in front? Oh, that's just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I think Diego is going past. He has indeed. Diego passed Stefan. So that battle that we were watching, perfectly executed move there. As yeah, we're almost on the last lap. So let's watch this. Diego, which way is he going? He's going to go at the inside. Stefan doesn't make it that difficult. Leaves enough room. A little bit of a body check as he comes past. But yeah, fantastic from Diego there. Lot of time gained.
And that's it. Okay. Tom just did the fastest lap as well, right at the end. On the last lap, so good for him. And we got top 3, 2 of the Altitude Esports drivers. You should be happy for this.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's perfect for me. So yes, yeah, Dadswell takes the win there in LMP3. Jerome comes across in 2nd, Hutchinson in 3rd, Ropey in 4th. Brendan recovered from P8 to take 5th, as I think we're going to watch Sven as well. Where's our leader of the GT4s? He's going to be somewhere near, as he's just come across the line as well. So Sven, fantastic result there. We watching as well, Yorny at 16.5 seconds back from our leader, and Philip kept him honest all the way through that race to come home for WSR Racing Esports, taking P3. Valtteri comes across the line in P4, and rounding out your top 5, Daniel Robinson in the BMW. Fantastic race from those guys as well. So yeah, good racing, not too much carnage, and yeah, fantastic to watch, to see the first round of this Anti-Stall Racing League kick off here at Imola, and yeah, brilliant throughout.
There was indeed a lot of action coming on the 45 minutes. It went so quickly too. You didn't even probably notice. There was always something going on, a little battle, some unfortunate incidents. But
we just need to check some bits where I lost on stream.
Yeah, it's always going to be like that for round number 1. Obviously, brand new drivers to championships. These guys haven't raced each other before. You also see who's done all the practice. But yeah, brilliant results for everybody around. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of happy people for this evening.
Actually, did Tom get a penalty? Oh no, this is for qualifying, isn't it?
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot to click on the race results. And here it is. So, Tom Dadswell with the first win on the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series, round 1 on Imola. Congratulations. Jeremy Ostring in P2. Mark Hutchinson, P3, completing the podium with 2 Altitude drivers. P4 for Rupi Kurkipa. P5 for Brandon Hawkin. P6 for Juan Costa. P7 for Brian Lawrence. Sebastian with a P8. P9 for Dan Murray. Sophia P10 after that. Well, hitting too many incidents, had to go through the pit. Jens Beetsema in P11. P.S. Berry P12. Diogo Diodoro in P13. Stefan Rossman in P14. Kevin Stem in P15. Emerson Goldin in P16. Andy finishes a lap behind in P17. P18 for Moritz. Let's see. Oh, here. Sorry. Yeah, Moritz in P18. P19 for Kevin Galvin. P20 for Peter Arnaud. And P21 for Alexis Coderet. can actually show it by class, or didn't I not set this properly? No, I did not set this properly. Sorry. So I guess I have to say it by the number that it says there. But Sven does get P1 for his class on the first race. Johnny Nim in P2. Philip Weiss in P3. Valtteri Kallio in P4. Danny Robinson in P5. Jode Rietsmaki P6. P7. Yeah, P6, sorry. Harry Yuli in P7. Sarah Schmidt in P8. Ryan Padisco in P9. Matteo Emery in P10. Daniel Ranke in P11. Johan Bernstein in P12. Pierre Ziv in P13. We still have some people that left beforehand. Just so you know, the point system is still not done, but you need to do 80% of the race to get the points from the race. So I think below Pierre, they won't get any points, sadly. We did see someone, for example, I think it was Yanni Kokkonen, who got disconnected from the VR system, so sadly he had to end the race there. But yeah, fantastic race to see.
Yeah, indeed, and we've got some drivers heading up to the commentary booth on the podium at the minute. Let's bring in Sven. Sven, your GT4 winner this evening. Sven, welcome up to the booth. Fantastic result this evening. Absolutely dominating performance.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was a good race. I think they made it a bit easier for me at the start because they battled really hard on lap 1 and the gap was big right away and I could just set in laps and the back gap was so big at a point where the P3s caught us that I could just take it safe, give them space, take some time losses. And yeah, that worked out really well for me.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, isn't it, when you start having to look in your mirrors. Obviously, you weren't looking at where the rest of the GT4s were, but these LMPs, they come up pretty quick, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's what makes this combination fun. These two classes work well together, I think. And yeah, I enjoy being the slower class, watching the mirrors, dodging LMPs.
Yeah, because they're going to go for gaps that maybe aren't there, but you've got to be on your game. But yeah, winning by 16 seconds, fantastic result. A great way to start the season. Is that what we're hoping for? You're hoping to run away like that every time we obviously get out on track?
I mean, on one hand, obviously yes, I want to win. But on the other hand, I would hope the other races are closer and I get like some battling and stuff, and not just like battling with the LMP3s.
Yeah, no, but very well done. Donington Park next is our obviously next round. Been there before, raced there before. What's it like? Have you driven the track before?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely love Donington. All these fast sweepers, blind apexes. That's just my jam. Looking forward to that one.
Yes, the BMW, your weapon of choice for the season. Did a lot of testing in it, or is that just your normal GT4 car to go to?
No, my normal one is actually the McLaren. That's my favorite. But I've been racing that a lot, especially in endurance leagues. And yeah, my teammate is always talking to beam up for like it's his favorite car. So I was like, I'm taking that one for a spin, and I quite like it.
Good. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out on the stream and thank, etc.?
Yeah, thanks for you guys for doing the broadcast and the organizers for doing this league. It's been fun. Like looks like it could be a really good season. So looking forward to that. And obviously thanks to my team at UJazz. They're great.
Wonderful. Perfect. Well done, Sven. Fantastic result this evening. And leading the GT4 championship.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And then next in the booth, our leader of the entire race, Mr. Tom Dadswell, LMP winner. Didn't have it all his own way there in the first stint, but after the pit stop, that gap managed to get up to about 3.5 seconds. Good evening, Tom. How are we?
Good evening. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Good. First on the road, first into the pit stop's always a nice thing to do. Beaten in qualifying.
Yeah. So that was a mistake on my behalf. I was on a good lap towards the end, and I thought the session had ended. so I pulled off. Not ideal.
Not suboptimal, but a decent start to the series for yourself and obviously the team. The LMP3 car new out this season. Nice to drive, difficult to drive. How was it going through the traffic?
Yeah, the car's always a handful. Cold tires especially are pretty sketchy. I've never done an endurance league with GT4s. I wasn't sure how that would go. There's quite a surprising speed difference in the corners, which caught me off a couple of times, but managed to get through it okay.
Good, fantastic. So leading the LMPs series, we just heard from Sven, thinks it's going to be a good series. We're off to Donington Park for the next round of the series. Looking forward to it. Have you done any testing yet, or are we just taking every week as it comes?
Yeah, just taking every week as it comes. Just sort of still learning the car more than anything at the moment, getting the setups right, everything like that. But yeah, schedule looks good, so should be a good season.
Wonderful. And before we let you go, anybody you want to say thanks to?
Yeah, just the team, you as well, obviously, team manager. Yeah, all the sponsors, Freem, Hill Designs, you know the rest.
And everybody else.
Everybody else.
Well, well done, Tom. Fantastic result there. And yeah, have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you.
So there we go then. Tom Dadswell and Sven de Maal, the winners of the class. Should we, what do we think? Bring in Jerome, P number 2, had a great battle all the way through. Oh no, he's disappeared. So let's...
Bring Brendan in.
Yeah, let's have a word with Brendan. Obviously, Brendan had a difficult race, started P8, did the Movano driver, up to P5 in the end. Brendan, good evening, how are you?
Oh, good, you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Hello, Brendan. I'm used to hearing your voice in every race.
Oh, yes, it's been a little bit, a couple weeks, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brendan, we know you're fast in the TCRs, incredibly fast in the TCRs. How's your switch over to the LMP3s? Looked like an interesting race, that's for sure.
Oh man, that was an action-packed race from start to finish. Man, pace-wise, I think I know what I can work on now, and but just the race itself was man, that was just a lot of fun. You know, there's cars everywhere. I don't do multi-class too often, so this is something that's it's really fun to do. You know, trying to learn everybody's like habits, I guess, what kind of lines they take, whether they'll let you go in one place or not, and it's just kind of craziness all the way around. And at the start of the race, there, I was able to get a couple positions, and then for the rest of the race, I was a little bit tight. I think I can work on that a little bit. So I'm gonna I'm just gotta do some more practice and see if I can get up to where Tom and Jeremy are there at the end of the season. But man, I was having so much fun there. A lap I think it was like lap 21 or something. We came across 2 GT4s and we split them on both sides going into the hairpin. That was just overall just really great stuff. Of course, car is a ton different from the TCR, so yeah, like yeah, just I guess the brakes are a little bit. I guess they're a bit. They're both really interesting on the brakes. Quite a lot different, of course, though, because completely different car. But man, yeah, I'm just you know, I'm really content with that. That was some really great stuff from everybody.
Yeah, we were watching that battle with Brian Loynes, and we feared for both of the LMPs as heading out into tow. So what, you went at the inside? No, you went around the outside, didn't you? It was Brian on the inside.
Yeah.
And learning what downforce is very quickly there on the outside. But yeah, as you said, you know, it's going to be different racing GT4s and LMPs together. Tom mentioned that the closing speed is quite significant. Were you finding that as well, trying to get through the traffic?
Yeah, they're especially in the fast corners and accelerating off the corner. Towards the end of the long straightaway, they kind of evened out a little bit, which was nice. Well, sorry, no, not that part, but for the most part, like they were relatively even in the corners, but there was you had a good bit down the straightaway, so it wasn't like too hard to navigate. It wasn't like there was a gigantic pace difference in the corners, which would make things really tricky. But yeah, I think it was a good balance between the two classes, which is really nice. And yeah, of course, the LMP3 being a new car, yeah, we're all kind of learning as we go. But I think everybody did a really great job there navigating, and yeah, just GT4s did a really great job as well. And man, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, it should be good. We're looking forward to it already. Donington Park is the next round. But yeah, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to say thanks to?
Oh yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody at Movano Racing. I've been working on this, trying to work on this setup by myself, trying to get it running. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can ask for some tips here and there, just to see if I can get anything more out of it, and see if I can change anything in my driving. And yeah, just you guys on the broadcast, and everybody who showed up. We have a massive field out here, so that's really great to see. And yeah, we unfortunately couldn't get the TCR series going again, but this is really cool. So I'm yeah happy to race this, and throughout the rest of the season, I'm going to be looking forward to it for sure.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us in the booth, Brandon. Have a great rest of your evening, and yeah, see you at Donington Park.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
And yeah, joined back into the chat as obviously, as we said, his name Jerome, second place there in the LMP3 field this evening. A pretty decent evening, I'd say. Having a great battle with Sophia up towards the pit stop, keeping Dadswell honest as well. But yeah, very well managed, I'd say.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so I actually liked the race. It was really nice, even though I had half an hour's practice before, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Good. So yeah, not too bad to finish just over 5 seconds away from Tom. But yeah, it looked a fantastic battle. You guys up the front were sort of carving your way through traffic, which was great to see. How are you finding the new LMP3? Obviously, it's a new car here on iRacing. Yeah, were you an LMP driver before, or is this all brand new to you as well?
Well, we drove the Lara, the LMP2 cars. My teammate, actually, Robert, who finished fourth. We've been driving in the Finnish Championship as well, so we knew the car already. We knew that I liked I like high downforce cars, so I found it quite easy. So I just got into grips with it, and it was fine. I really enjoy it. It's really nice.
Yeah. Perfect. And yeah, as Tom was saying, and so was Brandon, very difficult with the GT4s. The closing speeds are quite big. Did you find that as well? Did you enjoy going through the traffic and picking your way through?
Well, on the straights, you don't see that much of a pace difference. It's in the corners, but I knew I've been doing a lot of this in endurance, so I knew how to take the overtake on Sophia, because I knew it was what was going to happen. Basically, I could see it, so that's how I did the overtake, because there was no chance I was overtaking Sophia any other way, so I took my chances, really.
Yeah, and then I think she got a drive-through penalty for too many incidents. Yeah. But yeah, fantastic start of the season. P2 in LMP. We're obviously heading to Donington Park next time out. Looking forward to it. Is this circuit you're strong at, or are we going again for next week? What happens?
Well, I haven't driven there in a while, but I know the track, so I think it's half my home track, so I think I'm going to enjoy it. Probably, yeah. It seems like a nice profile on the track.
Yeah, and it should be decent with the GT4s as well. But well done this evening, P2. A fantastic start to your season, that's for sure. And yeah, best of luck for next week. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to say thanks to, or yeah, shout out on the stream?
Well, I think I'll just thank my team, Alastaro Esports, and I thank Robert as well, because he's a good teammate as well. So he always pushes me well. So in the end, I'm happy for everyone and just enjoying the racing, really.
Wonderful. Well done this evening. Great result for you and the team, P2 and P4. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you at Donington.
Thank you very much. Bye.
There we go then. Driver interviews done. Round number 1 finished of the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car League. Altitude Esports take the win there in LMP 3. And yeah, we saw Sven de Mal absolutely obliterate the GT4 field there, taking the win in GT4. 15.6 seconds was his lead. Decent first round. Not too much carnage. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Donington already.
Indeed, yeah, it was really exciting to see everyone race, everyone packing in, and everyone going through most of the time safely. Sometimes, accidents happen, but it proved out to be an exciting race, an exciting series to come. So thank you everyone for participating, and yeah, next week, same hour, Thursdays, we go to Donington. And thank you as well, Mark, for being here, helping me with commentating.
You're welcome. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.